Brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet.
Hi, I'm Mike Green. I'm one of the owners of 1A Auto. I want to help you save time and money repairing and maintaining your vehicle. I'm going to use my 20 plus years experience restoring and repairing cars and trucks like this to show you the correct way to install parts from 1AAuto.com. The right parts installed correctly. That's going to save you time and money. Thank you, and enjoy the video.
In this video, we're going to replace the front ABS harness on this 2002 GMC Sierra, same as most of these vehicles from 99 to 06. And these can get broken. You can hit an obstruction and the harness can get torn, or they can just sometimes wear out and break over time. Tools you'll need are 18, 21, and 22 millimeter sockets with a ratchet. You may need a pipe or breaker bar for some leverage on some of those more bolts that are a little difficult. Allen wrench, an adjustable wrench, a large flat blade screwdriver, and a pair of pliers. Start out by using a 21 millimeter socket and just loosening the plastic retainers and taking off the hubcap if you have this style wheels. You want to raise and secure the vehicle. If you're not working with air tools like I am, then loosen the lug nuts while the wheel's on the ground, then raise it with a jack, support it with a jack stand, and remove the lug nuts the rest of the way and remove the tire. Okay, you're going to remove the caliper, which is two 18 millimeter bolts, one there and one up here. I'm going to speed things along here, and you can see I'm able to get those bolts with the ratchet arm. You might want to use a pipe, give you a little extra leverage. I'll show you that in the next step. And then I actually go to the air tools to get the bolts out the rest of the way. Take a nice big screwdriver, put it in this hole in the caliper here, and pry out on the caliper. This forces the pistons back in. Allows you to get the caliper up and off. Now you're going to have to take off this caliper bracket, which involves taking off these two bolts here. Okay, fast forward again. You'll notice I have a pipe there. That's for some extra leverage on these bolts. These are 21 millimeter bolts in size, and we'll just fast forward through me taking them out. Okay, then you're going to want to pull your brake rotor right off as well. The brake rotor has threaded holes here, so if you couldn't get it off, it doesn't pull off. You want to use an I believe an M10 or an M12, probably about a 7 centimeter long bolt, and you put the bolt into there, and that forces the rotor off. Here I'm just taking one of my bolts and my caliper bracket and just threading it in on a few turns, and then putting my brake caliper back on, just kind of threading that bolt in and put it on a few turns. This just puts the caliper in a safe place while I'm working. You need to get to here is your sensor, the end of your sensor right here. Now I'm going to take an Allen wrench, put it in that bolt that's holding the sensor. A little adjustable wrench. Just helps me get some leverage on this Allen wrench. Remove that bolt. A pair of pliers. Grab onto the sensor. Pull it up and out. Okay, so there's a sensor up and out. Just take this off for a second. Pull your sensor right up through there. Okay,
Now you just want to use a pair of pliers and just kind of force all these clips out. And there's one way up here. Which comes out. And then up right here near your shock. Right up here near your shock is where the connection is. Use a screwdriver. Pry the pin up and out. I'm going to do this very carefully. Cut the bottom side. Okay. Same thing over here. Cut the bottom side. Unplug it. Okay, here's my old sensor. New sensor from One Auto. You can see it has all the same clips and connectors. Start up here. Okay, connects back in just like before. We'll put this heat shield down around it. Hole here near the shock. Just wrap the heat shield down and press it down in. Push that in. Okay, here this pin didn't actually come out. End up having to use a little punch. Okay, punch that through. Down in. That goes on there. Take that down. Put that right through. First, just make sure we clean the sensor off. And guide it. Just guide the sensor into the hole with the tip of my thumb. And down in. Allen wrench and the screw.
And we'll just speed it up here as we put that screw in with the Allen wrench and then use the adjustable wrench to tighten it up. And continue with the fast motion as we take that bolt that was holding the caliper, put the caliper up, and put the bracket back on, thread the bolts in, and then preliminarily tighten them.
Okay, we're going to torque these to 110 foot-pounds.
And put the brake shoes back on here. So now we'll bring the calipers down and start those long bolts in. You want to make sure those are nice and clean and have some grease on them because the caliper needs to slide back and forth on those bolts.
Okay, I'm going to torque these caliper bolts to 85 foot-pounds.
Fast forward again here as we hoist the tire up on. You want to start all the lug nuts by hand first, and then I just use the Just use the air ratchet or the impact wrench just to tighten up the lug nuts preliminarily. I don't tighten them all the way up until the vehicle's on the ground.
Take my wheel box to 120 foot-pounds.
Okay, we'll speed up here, and you can see that I kind of cross and do the opposite lug nuts, and then afterwards I actually go around one by one and just make sure they're all torqued. Okay, now put the cap back on, and then please stay with it for one more very important step. Make sure that whenever you're taking your brakes apart, that before you drive your vehicle, you pump your brakes a bunch of times, and then do test stops before road testing it. We hope this helps you out. Brought to you by www.oneauto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet. Please feel free to call us toll-free 888-844-3393. We're the company that's here for you on the internet and in person.